you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
You all arrived here from Cislodia, yes? In that case, you should depart via the south gate, rather than the one you arrived through.
I wonder if something happened.
After all that, Kisara never came back to see us.
I'm surprised she slipped away without us noticing. Where would she even go? I hope this place survives. You think the Danins and Renins have a chance of getting along? We didn't really do much to change things around here, did we?
This realm had its own walls to overcome. And in the end, it was the people themselves who decided to break them down, without any help from us. I hope they keep going, I really do.
Yeah, well, if you say so, I guess. Huh?
All right. I leave command of the Gold Dust Cats in your hands.
You've got nothing to worry about, Kisara. I'll do your brother proud.
Looks like it's time to go. Take good care of Zare for me. All right, Legil?
You've got it. Stay safe, Kisara.
Did you come to say goodbye?
Actually, I was wondering if you could use another companion.
Huh?
Well, we certainly don't mind you coming along. We just figured you'd stay behind and help rebuild. These people could use you.
I thought much the same thing. However, in the end, something changed my mind. Ever since Miguel died, I've been thinking a lot. About where I went wrong, what I should have done differently. You know, that sort of thing. It's true that our dream of coexistence saved many Danan lives, but we were naive and short-sighted. I was so wrapped up in my idea of how things should be that I didn't see the problems that existed right in front of us. I thought we had been given a utopia. And so I never bothered to look too far past its surface. I chose to be ignorant. And because of that, because of me, my brother...
Miguel's death wasn't your fault, Kisara.
Perhaps you're right. But in the end, it was me he entrusted this dream to. I learned that nothing in this life is free, or gained without sacrifice. Now that I know that, I'll just have to figure out what else I don't know.
So, decided to join us?
I have. And hopefully I can continue to protect Eldaman and Sia from outside the dream world, for the sake of those still inside.
And here I thought you joined for an opportunity on my life.
In all honesty, I'm grateful to you. I truly am. I don't blame you for what happened. But I must also leave your service. No longer will I be defined by protecting a Renin lord. From now on, when I fight to protect my dream. All I ask is that you do your part, that you fight alongside me, not just for those who used to believe in your dream, but for those that still do. Dohalim.
I understand. I'm no longer a lord anyway.
Well, this crew just gets bigger and bigger. All right, where to, team?
We make for Mahag Sar, the Valley of the Four Winds.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Mahag Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. If they try to get in our way, we'll take them down and that'll be that. I'm amazed how easily you can move such a giant shield around like it's nothing.
Really? It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
It's really reassuring to have someone like you protecting us, though.
You know, I guess I never realized it before, but looking back, I've always been the sort to put myself in harm's way to protect those around me, even before I joined the Eldermenensia Guard. So, in a way, using this shield to keep you all safe feels like it's what I was meant to do.
You don't need to worry about protecting me. I don't plan on relying on you.
That's okay. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't protect people because they ask me to. I do it because I want to, and because I think it's the right thing to do. That goes for you too, Dohalim.
Me?
Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure you'll do us proud, Kisara.
Right. You can all count on me.
What was Kelzelik even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holding himself up in the palace.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renin than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part. The shock he felt at that must have been truly immense. Enough to drive him to revolt, even though doing so meant defying Renin hierarchy.
I know I've said this before, but Danans and Renins wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your stance.
But that was no lofty idealism on my part, nor do I feel any pride at what occurred.
Spare us the pity party. You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
Shion!
No, she is absolutely correct. I shall speak no more of my misgivings.
way!
Double Demon Fang!
Cascade!
Not today! Double
Freeze!
Demon Fang!
Sleep now.
Do it!
Stay
You're
resting.
mine!
Ignition astral energy. Full throttle. Blah blah blah. Magic.
Double Demon Fang!
It's over.
The heavens must be smiling.
There's something in... I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Ren and eyes.
Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble.
I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod.
You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done. Where should I cast my line? All right, once more from the top. All right. Well, that wasn't much of a challenge.
Not too shabby, friend.
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins.
Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey, though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought, after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, La?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
Done. This is sure to give the others some much-needed energy.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind, either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
You can never be too prepared. But did we have to spend so much? I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
All right.
There's nowhere to run from my art! When he slows down, that's our chance! Can't get out of this!
Like trying to keep up with a wall!
Sleep now.
There!
The earth throbs in pain.
Lightning!
Can't get out of this!
Shining supernova! Lightning! Alright, it's showtime!
Prepare to be sealed!
I'm out of ammo! What's
Dragon, damn it! It's too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it up!
Lightning condense! Thunderblade!
Tectonic punch! Take this!
Radiant pierce!
Now I'm in the groove! Take this!
Lightning
I'm
orb!
only getting started.
Lightning condemned!
Double
Annihilation!
Phoenix Bang!
Mortal
Hey!
Ray!
In a bind.
First strike!
Radiant punch! Here! Dance in the wind! Here I go! It's overtime! Raging cascade to the front!
You're mine!
Take this!
Aqua!
In a bind.
Dragon shout!
Here goes!
Double demon!
Lightning! Raging cascade!
No
Here!
escape!
Flame of fury! Dance in the wind! Glacial spear! Steel! Here's the
Take
eagle!
this!
More
Prepare
for the
to be
stop
sealed!
Slayer!
Dance!
Light
Take
astral
this!
energy! More where that
Double
came
demon
from!
fang!
Glacial spear! Hierarchical!
You're
Dragon
mine!
caster! Freeze lancer!
Talon hurricane!
Here goes!
Ready to go!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before.
Are you curious about...
They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's down in history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. That treasure. What a sweet-sounding ring it has.
You really think so?
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
You picked the wrong
When
fight!
did I get so popular?
You got fire!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours!
Don't mind if I do.
Mega ray!
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that.
Double demon fang!
Raging
Take this!
cascade! Here!
Double demon fang!
Here!
I'll show you just how strong my arts really are.
Can't get out of...
Mirage!
Into the shadows!
Do it!
No escape!
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one. one.
Here
Double
comes!
demon
Already
fang!
on!
Double demon fang!
Glacial spear.
Multi-Theon Nut!
Get out of my sight, Miner. You'll get hit.
Oops, right.
Will this
Sorry,
hurt now?
Fang. Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
I'll heal you all!
Nothing gets by me!
Watch this!
Healing circle! Air!
Burn in hell!
That hit the spot.
Hey, that... With this, I can become even stronger.
This won't be easy.
Thine own death!
Don't be such a pessimist.
Glacial spear. Pierce the evil.
Double demon fang! Here I
Anything in
come!
armor is airborne feast. My specialty.
Double demon fang!
Blind freaks!
Double demon fang!
Never still!
Shia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Here goes!
Don't mind if I do.
Radiant light! Dance in the wind!
Glacial spear. Pierce the
Double
evil.
demon fang!
Free blazer!
Not today!
Dragon show!
Double demon fang!
Radiant dragon! Dance in the wind! Sealed by the power of
Here I
water!
come!
Get yours!
It's over!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry. I've got your back.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them? I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Double demon fang!
Concentration!
Okay, here I go!
Talon Hurricane! In a bind?
Dance in the wind!
Let the
Demon
marksman handle this.
You're mine!
I can handle it.
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Double demon
Now,
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
Lightning condemned! One more!
Leave the enemy's arms to me.
Double
No
demon
complaints
fang!
here!
Do it! Double demon fang!
Take it!
Talon Hurricane! Anything in armor is all mine!
Ah! You picked the wrong fight! Double demon fang!
I'll end you!
Take this!
I can carve through armor!
Double demon fang!
Supernova!
Light burst forth!
Radiant citizen!
Wow, that was a nice move there.
I know, right? Bet you couldn't do it.
So it's a grab here, thrust the left leg, then use the right arm to leverage over...
Stop memorizing my move!
They're surrounding us.
Double demon fang!
Pierce the evil!
I owe you one!
I'll end you!
Free blazer!
Double demon fang!
Solo dance!
I'm not so good with airborne targets.
Double demon fang!
Like astral energy! In the wind! Air drop! Astral energy!
Can't get out of this!
Searing flame!
Double
Reload!
demon fang!
Now,
Here I come!
get toasty.
Burn strike!
Right, next one.
Already on!
Raging
Double demon fang!
Swallow dance!
Double demon fang!
Radiant love! Here! Photon flash!
I never miss.
I can handle it.
Ah! Ignite!
Here's a healing art.
Demon fang!
Now. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
man. I hope I live long enough to regret this.
Damn it!
I'll heal you all!
Take this! It's over!
Healing circle!
I owe you one.
Gemini Aqua! Let's get you up!
Do they not teach you to say thank you, Indiana?
Not to a Renin, they don't.
An astral art?
That's my cue!
Demon Fang! Shut him down!
Dance in the wind!
It's over!
Sleep now!
Let's get you
Prepare
up
to be
the way!
sealed!
Talon Storm!
Sleep now!
Let's get you
I'll
up
finish you
now!
here and now!
Dohalim!
Blow them away!
By the power of the field!
Prepare to be sealed! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Lightning condemns! Pierce the evil!
Tongue!
Now!
Ignite!
Freeze Lancer! Hey! One at a time!
Double Demon Fang!
Do it! One last one! Magna this one! Lightning condemns!
First strike!
Where are you going? Thunder! Not on my mark!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
Watch
I
this!
can handle it.
No further! I'll run you through!
Dance in the wind! Do it! Air thrust!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I think I'm getting stronger.
The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen. More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Double Demon Fang!
Gemini
Swallow dance! Eat dirt!
Storm! Dance in the
Double
wind!
Demon Fang!
Air
I'm
thrust!
not done!
Astral energy!
Here I come! Double Demon Fang!
Lightning condemns! Thunder blade!
Armor won't save you!
Double Demon Fang!
Eat this! Now
Turn the tables on him!
There are still more left.
Right! No time to
You
hold
are
back!
in tip-top shape.
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no?
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's
Here I
content.
come!
this! Talon Storm!
Chinese
Double Demon
supernova!
Fang!
I'm ready! Go backward!
Any injuries?
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's that big tower over there?
We should be able to cook here.
Have you guys checked your equipment? Lately? Guess I misread the landing. Not this way, I guess. Guess I misread the landing. Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag-Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me, why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
Mega Ray! This one's mine!
I'm on it!
Thunder Hurricane! Mega Ray!
Swallow Blade!
Enjoy.
This one's all mine! Not a chance!
Raise your speed!
Burn it!
Focus your
Now,
attack!
who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
It's over!
It's showtime! I can carve through
Take
water!
this.
Lightning
Double
Orb!
Demon Fang!
Hey, that frickin' does it!
Healing Crystal!
Thank you.
I'm sorry to be bothered.
We've all got enough on our plates.
Yes, ma'am.
Here's the Mega Ray!
Burn it!
Show me your strength.
Double Demon Fang!
Lightning Condemned!
Double Demon Fang!
Mega Ray!
It's over!
By the Hurricane!
Double Demon
Lightning
Fang!
Condemned!
Now I'm in the groove.
Mega Ray!
Take this!
Lightning!
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides, Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't...